everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Double Stuff Podcast, where we have double the topics, double the hosts, and double the fun. And I'm Alan.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Charity.
And today we are talking about Thanksgiving food.
We talk a lot about food on this podcast, and I love it.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of food.
We could talk about food. That's easier than eating it and gaining the weight. So we'll talk about it to our heart's
It's a low-fat podcast.
Low-fat podcast.
We'll just eventually have one episode where we just eat food on the microphone.
Be like, turkey, don't mind if I do.
Yes,
I'd watch
pumpkin
that.
pie. I go Alan with his catchphrase. Actually, slightly off topic, though.
Okay.
I was reading an article. One of the worst things a podcaster would do is to eat and drink while actually doing the podcast, because nobody wants to hear the smacking.
People do
and
that
the
on
chewing.
Zoom calls, and then you have to watch them eat and drink and snack.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about what we came here to talk about, which is Thanksgiving food. And
Yes.
I would like to know, what is your quintessential Thanksgiving menu, starting with Dan?
Yes, let's start with Dan. I want to know
Vegan Thanksgiving.
what's a vegan
'Cause,
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Well, that's
We need to
really
know.
hard to say, actually, because, I mean, I've only been vegan for a few years now. I had a whole bunch of life during which, I wasn't. So I had a pretty traditional Thanksgiving, and I try to keep that. So I'd say that if you're looking for a full menu, typically now, I go with some kind of stuffed mushroom, like some kind of like stuffed portobello mushroom with like some grain and some nuts and stuff like that. Stuffing is a must.
Yes.
Gotta have the stuffing. And then the third one that I absolutely have to have is green bean casserole.
Oh, yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
traditional Campbell's.
Now, what would you use?
Yes,
what
and no.
would
So
you
what
use?
I do for my green bean casserole, because if you look up green bean casserole recipes, everybody's got a different one. I mean, different kinds, different stuff like that.
Cream
I
of
go with
mushroom.
the traditional Campbell's green bean casserole, but I make my own cream of mushroom soup.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
fancy.
Yeah, from scratch. And then so I make a vegan cream of mushroom soup, and then I just follow the rest of the Campbell's recipe and go to town. And then, of course, my favorite growing up little kind of sweet part to it was cranberry sauce.
Yes.
And you have to get the cranberry sauce out of the can. Yes.
Yeah, the jelly. Yeah, the jelly. Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I only recently got into that.
Recently,
cranberry.
what was your childhood like, Alan?
He
We
liked
just
the
didn't. We never
chunky
had.
thing.
No, we never
No?
had cranberry sauce at all.
Oh,
I just recently introduced that. But sticking with Dan before we get to me, because we could talk a while.
yeah, we could.
So what about like a sweet, like, so after you've filled up, you've taken a break, you've watched some football maybe, and then you come back for dessert. Man, my mouth, I had to take a swallow because my mouth was
Your
watering.
mouth watering?
So what's a dessert? What's your go-to dessert?
I mean, I'm a pie guy. I like any kind of pie,
Mhm.
so it doesn't even
Like
matter
fruit
what
pie?
For fruit pie, you have chocolate pie, pumpkin pie. I'm a
Pecan?
pie guy. Oh yeah,
Ugh,
pecan
pie's
pecan
gross.
pie. Oh, I have to go.
Dan's gone.
Dan had a
Have a moment, yeah. Praise break.
No, yeah, pecan pie is awesome. So yeah, I'm all about the pie.
That's awesome.
So, Dan, does your family, because I assume that no one else in your family is vegan, so do they have to make a separate meal for you?
They don't
Or-
have to. I make all the meals for me.
Oh.
There you go.
No,
So
but my mom does make. Typically, she will make something that, or she will usually just make like the mashed potatoes. I forgot about mashed potatoes. She'll do mashed potatoes sometimes, or my wife will, with just without the milk, stuff like that. So they'll typically make something that's a traditional food, but just make it vegan for either everybody or just on the side. But I make a lot of the food.
Yeah, that sounds right. We do the same thing on our side. So we don't eat pork. So if there's something that's pork that calls for a recipe, there'll be like a double. Like sometimes even Thanksgiving will continue into the next day. And so there's this breakfast casserole that my mother and grandmother make that are really good. And they'll make one with a pork sausage, and then they'll make one with a turkey sausage for our family.
Because
And
our family doesn't do pork products either.
yeah,
Actually, I didn't realize that for both Thanksgiving and Christmas that ham is such a big deal
Yeah.
in families.
Oh,
we do
yeah.
turkey
We-
for both holidays.
growing up,
I
that
was-
you
I-
get ham for everything.
I didn't eat ham until I was like 7 or 8 years old because I really didn't. I see, you see it, but I've never had it. And then I tried it, and I was
Ham
like,
is gross too.
it's
No.
weird for me. But
Smoked meat is delicious.
And this is coming from the biggest carnivore
Captain
in the
Carnivore
podcast.
sitting next to me.
And
So
these
this is
people
not my conversation.
carnivore.
Here's something that's strange. And I'll go off on a tangent too. I always found like smoked turkeys. Some people smoke their turkeys for Thanksgiving, and I always think that tastes like ham. So it's mostly the smoked flavor. I
Ham
think.
has like a very sweet taste.
It does
to
have a
and
sweet-
I don't like that.
Well, like you can get it like glazed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I just haven't had a good ham, but like I don't like that sweet taste, and it's one of those things that I dislike. Like my dad really loves barbecue, and he loves barbecue sauce and all
Amen.
that. But if I'm gonna have a barbecue sauce, it needs to be more smoky and not sweet. He likes the really sweet barbecue
Yeah,
sauces.
shout out to Sweet Baby Ray, the only
Sweet Baby
barbecue
Ray.
sauce my dad will ever use for the rest of his life.
He loves that, but I've also been to Bite Me Barbecue, and they've got
Yes.
a few on the
Love
sweeter
Bite Me
side, and I don't like that. So if I'm gonna have meat, it needs to be savory all the way. Don't put sugar. Like if I want sugar, I'll get a piece of cake.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I've moved away from saucing barbecue to just rubs, and then if you want it sauced, sauce it later.
Yeah.
You don't. It doesn't
When the
have to
sauce
be
is additional. It's like let's enhance it, but I don't necessarily need it.
right. Yeah. Anything else from you, Dan, or is that pretty much the quintessential
Vegan
Thanksgiving?
meal.
That's my menu right there. You know,
Well, I
like I said, I
agree
mentioned mashed potatoes and crisp
Well,
rolls.
I know.
yes.
In one of our text messages, you wanted to talk about tofurkey.
Yeah. So I mean, I've had tofurkey. I've had a couple different kinds, like field roast and the brand tofurkey and stuff like that, and they have an interesting flavor. They're pretty good, but I try to sort of avoid them now. I like to make my own thing now. So yeah, I mean they're good. They're a good alternative for anybody who's looking for something with a lot more flavor.
Very good.
One of my coworkers, you know, she does eat a lot of. It seems like she does eat a lot of vegan stuff, and she sort of hates like the fake meat thing. She's like, vegetables have a good quality on their own, and so if you're gonna go vegan or vegetarian, focus on that instead of trying to insert fake meat into the equation. Is that? I don't know if that's how you feel, but that she feels very strongly about that.
Viva la vegan!
I don't feel like very strongly about. I mean, I've eaten a lot of faux processed, foods before and stuff like that, and I just, it's a teach their own thing. I think people they want to eat that stuff. That stuff's pretty tasty, and if they don't, I know some people who are raw food vegans, and I'm like, hey, good for you, but not for me.
I haven't quite gotten to that, even as an omnivore.
Well, what is your Thanksgiving meal? And this is, I guess, for both of you.
The Harmon household.
The Harmon household.
I would say, in terms of our Thanksgiving, we're pretty traditional. Yeah,
it's pretty traditional. The past few years, because we all have different schedules and trying to come together, it's been more low key Thanksgiving.
It has been, yeah.
And even the past few years, because I've had to work Thanksgiving evening, or Sarah was master control for a while, and she didn't get certain holidays off. We would do Thanksgiving lunch.
Yeah, it's like it was almost like fast food Thanksgiving. We got to do a quick meal.
Like we would eat by noon, because especially if I'm working retail, like I would have to be at work by 4 o'clock or something. So
yeah.
But we obviously do turkey.
Why? What's happening on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, early Black Friday.
Surely it couldn't be the transition into the next major family holiday right
that
now.
Can't
right?
even wait a full 24 hours to be ushered
this
in.
year it's sort of canceled, but anyway.
It took we're talking about food.
Yeah, we typically do a turkey,
traditional.
Stuffing.
Now, what's a turkey in your household? Is anything over 12 pounds, under 12 pounds?
It's whatever is on sale.
Gotcha.
I think we had like this. Was it 16?
There you go.
We had a pretty decent sized turkey.
We did, and we decided at one of the health food stores they sell like free range turkeys, which that has a very distinctive. The free range turkeys taste very much different than if you get it from a regular store.
Well, and we didn't realize that until we had started getting those, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, this tastes so much better!" And so we've been getting those. Yeah, but like. I mean,
it is more expensive, so the past couple Thanksgivings we haven't gotten
twice a year. I think we can get an expensive turkey.
We do, and then if they are, then we get two, because usually our Christmas is like Thanksgiving Junior, because we do the same meal for Christmas as Thanksgiving,
and then I think we mainly swap out the vegetables. So like sometimes we'll have collard greens, other times we'll have green beans. But we always have turkey. We have dressing. We talked about the cranberry sauce in the can, the jellied stuff.
Baked macaroni and cheese. Thank you,
cheese.
Jesus, for all that cheese.
We do sweet potatoes.
We do yams every once in a while.
Or sweet potato pie. However we want to do that.
Okay,
and
wait.
Potatoes,
pause for a second, because this is something that. So the difference between a sweet potato and a yam. Do you guys have strong feelings?
I don't know if we've had enough to really have any kind of feeling, or at least me. I don't know.
I don't have any feelings. I think they're both good. But yeah, we were talking about this a couple days ago because we're watching Food Network.
Yeah,
and they were the color of it and stuff is
Right.
different. But I don't have feelings about
So
it.
what would the color difference be?
The yams are lighter colored.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
It's
like
a
cream or a
orangey-ish
white.
color.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know. I'm trying to think of what to point at in this room that's the color of.
Well, it wouldn't matter. The viewers can't.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Sorry, guys.
I said viewers.
Point to something in your room. Point to something in your room right now, everybody. Does it look like a yam?
I don't know what she's pointing at.
That's yam-like, right?
I can't watch that. Anyway, so
Yeah.
now with your yams, like marshmallows on top, baked.
We really don't do
no.
the
I never got into that
marshmallows.
either.
Just brown sugar, cinnamon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why mess it up? 'Cause
Well, a
it
lot of
sorta-
people like it. That's like
true. It looks spider webby though, doesn't it? Like
I don't know. I
yeah, and
never
Halloween's
liked it.
over. Gosh.
Well, here's the thing. Once you start cooking up the yams, which are sweet enough,
yeah,
and then if you're throwing in some brown sugar too to really enhance it,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna throw marshmallows on top. I think it's kind of like a kid favorite or something. I
so
don't
it
know.
gets them to eat it.
Could be,
maybe.
but I've never liked it.
Do your
but-
girls?
No, they
No?
don't like yams, sweet potatoes,
Mhm.
or anything like that. We definitely get into mashed potatoes though, but
Yes.
yeah,
we are a house divided on gravy between
Oh.
brown gravy and white gravy.
Or no gravy.
we really don't do
we
gravy
can
that much.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
then you don't have an argument if it's just.
But we're
Daddy
the
didn't make any
independent
gravy.
party when it comes to
no
Thanksgiving.
gravy,
Yeah.
and then if you like gravy, it's a sub argument of
Right.
brown and green or
Well, so,
green.
well, I think what it basically is it's brown gravy, it's white gravy, or you're wrong.
Yeah.
And this
That's
is
a
how the
bumper
Civil
sticker
War
right there.
This is how the Civil War started. You had the brown gravy, you had the white gravy. They fought together. You still
Our-
get a goopy
Our
mess.
current political climate is going to get into gravy. I'm brown gravy, and so I don't like you at all.
Well, thank you for joining us for our podcast, guys. And here we end.
Mhm.
Yeah, but outside of so definitely now as far as the turkey goes, my wife does a brine, which is something that I wasn't.
Huh.
I had never had growing up, and I got to say it is the best turkey that I've
Okay.
ever had. And we try to look for a big turkey because we want to make it last. We're going to make sandwiches.
And
Yeah, we're going to
Oh.
make all kinds of stuff with
Mhm.
the turkey. We're going to make soups and all the things that we can do with
the
turkey.
leftover specials.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Have you guys ever just thrown away the idea of going and fixing you a plate after Thanksgiving? You just go to the refrigerator with a fork.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
okay. I was actually.
I'm not the only
Yes.
one.
Okay.
You just kind of graze in the
Just
kitchen.
I was actually waiting for Alan to make another Kansas taco reference. Like, yeah, we're just take your
Oh,
cranberry sauce,
perfect.
put it on a white piece of bread,
Perfect.
and just eat it.
That's a perfect Kansas taco filling
Kansas
right
taco,
there.
the Thanksgiving edition.
Ugh. I'm still not over that moment from that
Oh, yeah.
season.
Now let me ask you this though, as far as because Dan, you talked about crescent rolls or croissant rolls, I guess wherever you're from.
Well,
Sorry, France.
they're both spelled very differently. Just there's crescent and croissant
That's
has nothing to do with
true.
pronunciation and spelling are very different.
Well, I think we talked about that in between the episodes, BT
Mhm.
Dubs. So.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. There's an after hours post.
But is there like a bread that you like to like sop up the gravy with? Or
Sop. Sop is Charity's favorite word.
No?
Sop, sop, sop.
Okay, you know how some people hate the word moist?
Okay.
I hate the word sop.
Sop
the way
is
some people
sop.
hate moist.
Sop is Charity's moist.
Because it implies sogginess. I'm about to gag talking about this.
The
It implies
straight-
soggy bread. And
Which
I
is
can't.
delicious.
What does?
I've been
If
trying
it's
to
full of
I've
your
been trying to have Charity gag on one of our
delicious-
episodes. yes.
Oh boy,
No.
we have gone
my
off the
gosh.
rails.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm okay now. I'm okay.
Okay.
No, it just made me
All right.
think of those hot dog eating contests, which they play.
Oh, and they dip it
During-
in the water and all that.
Yep, they play that during Thanksgiving, and they dip the hot dogs and the bread in the water so
And then
that way
they
they
eat
can
it.
swallow it
Yeah.
easier. And it
Okay,
That
well,
is
I'm
just
not
a soppy
talking about
mess.
that. I'm talking about delicious Thanksgiving.
just use the word sop. We had to get
Okay.
the story in there.
Is there a bread that carries you through your meal that you have to have?
We
Like-
usually sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No, crescent roll. That's it. You
Yeah.
got it. I mean, that's it right there.
I was gonna say our
That's
family
good.
usually does the Hawaiian rolls. However,
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like they just sit there, because if you fill up on bread, then that takes a lot of available space in your stomach, and then you can't eat your potatoes.
That's the thing. I never fill up on bread. I can eat a whole meal, and if there's bread sitting in front of me, I'm just like, I'll graze a little bit.
Now the thing is that if you want to have some good rolls or biscuits, it needs to be nice and hot with really cold apple butter.
Ooh,
we didn't talk about apple butter in our apple episode,
true.
but apple butter.
I forgot something.
Yeah, because spreads are important, like fig spreads, apple.
Fig, what the hey? Sorry, apparently me and Shirley have something about
judgment.
I'm sorry, I thought about Fig Newtons, and I don't like those either. So
okay, well, minus that,
anyway.
You're not invited to my dinner.
Apparently, Alan's dinner is all fig. We have turkey fig, mashed figs, fig pie.
Okay,
fig
you're doing Forrest Gump, where they're talking about shrimp. Shrimp turkey, shrimp rolls, shrimp dressing.
Okay, but all right. So we've talked about our proteins. We've talked about our side dishes. Main dishes, side dishes, desserts. What about drinks? Do you guys do like Martinelli's, like sparkling, or do you guys do an alcoholic beverage?
Water.
Just water?
Water. Every once in a while, we do apple cider with Thanksgiving.
Okay. Have you guys ever had the Martinelli's sparkling ciders?
Mm-hmm. Me, Charity, and a friend of ours went to school with. We want to feel all adult like. We usually get some kind of sparkling something and put it in an adult beverage glass because
you're making us sound like we're 5 years old.
Well, I'm not 5 years old. It's just I don't drink alcohol, but I like alcoholic glasses. so I've gone to restaurants. People give me weird looks. I'm like, can I have 7-Up in a martini glass?
That'll get you a weird look right away.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know if to card you or to call the funny farm. It's like this.
They'll do both. They'll do both.
Like sure, lady.
But that way I feel like I'm like, look at me swirling bubbly things. And I can still drive home. No repercussions.
Well, that's one of the things that we like and the girls, mainly from what you're talking about, they feel so Martinelli's sparkling ciders for Thanksgiving, for Christmas and New Year's, and they call it kid champagne and things like that.
Okay, but how old are your girls?
11 and 9.
How old are you, Sarah? Just kidding.
I'm a combination of 11 and 9.
How about you, Dan?
Yeah, how old are you, Dan?
Old enough. No, my dad makes an alcoholic drink that I really like. I honestly have no idea what's in it. It seems like there's a little bit of everything in it. And then like some ginger ale and stuff. It's not for the kids.
Is it like a secret family recipe, or you just don't care?
I just know he showed me how to make it, and it's so much goes into it that I just can't remember now what all he puts in it.
Is it like a special holiday? Like, is it mold?
Yeah. No, he just makes it like makes it for the holidays.
I think the word is more of mull.
Oh, MULLED.
He's saying
okay, mold. Yeah,
no.
not MOLD.
Yeah, mold. With like spices and warm.
I got it now. Just
it's got a little bit of that.
I'm gonna take the martini glass away from Sarah.
I know.
I'm talking like I'm
7-Up
tipsy.
for you.
I'm talking like I'm tipsy. I'm 100% sober.
Yeah, she said she doesn't drink, but I'm not sure what's in this water bottle on the
People
table.
do wonder, like, Sarah, you'd be great drunk. I'm like, I don't know. I'm bad.
I'm bad on life.
I'm bad enough, like right now.
Oh boy.
All right.
How about so you've had your meal, you've had your dessert, and then you need to go and digest. What are you guys watching? Are you guys going to the movies? Are you guys?
We don't go anywhere. We're too full.
What about football? So are you like me? Or are you
we
getting
put
into
up
football?
the Christmas decorations.
We put up the Christmas tree.
You guys bring it in right away.
We do it right. That way you have it up as long as possible. So if we don't do it after dinner, we'll do it Black Friday. Like if we're not working.
Black Friday, Green Christmas.
Yeah, it's like Black Friday is the time to set up for Christmas. And so when we were younger, like we would be putting up Christmas decorations inside, and then our dad used to decorate the outside of the house with lights on the bushes and stuff. So he would do the outside, and we put up the tree and the stockings.
I do have memories of that, and I've started doing that too. So after Thanksgiving, at least get up the lights on the outside.
Yeah, because it's still your day off. That's probably the only other time you can do it before you get into Christmas crazy.
Yeah,
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's Christmas. True. I do like, or at least it seems like when in recent years, Thanksgiving has been getting more in the forefront because people's like, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, like it's this little sliver.
Nobody's skipping it.
I mean,
in reality, there's no one skipping it. There's just no Thanksgiving carols to sing.
That's true. That needs to be one of our goals. We need to write A Thanksgiving Carol. Well, you know, where Ebenezer Scrooge discovers the true meaning of Thanksgiving over some carved turkey and ham.
I don't think that's what Dickens had in mind.
Well, we'll get to work on that, Sarah. And we hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving. And if you have a specific tradition, if you have a recipe that you'd like to share with us, we'll give it a try, and maybe we'll even incorporate it into our own Thanksgiving traditions, be it a meat eating or vegan, whatever it might be. We'll give it a shot. So shoot us your favorite family recipes. And with that, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for listening to today's episode. You can find other episodes on doublestuffpod.com or on your favorite podcast apps. You can also participate in the fun on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Double Stuff Podcast and on Twitter at Double Stuff P, as in the letter P.